Okay, vertex form. Vertex form is the next formula on the formula chart that you're going to be given for the STAR test. Yesterday we weren't working with it, but we've gone over standard form. Standard form of an equation is ax squared plus bx plus c. Vertex form is right here, it's the second, and it's in the bottom section of that formula chart. And if you look at the differences between them, what is the most obvious difference that you notice? The parentheses is also what two variables, Keandra? H and K. H and K, because both formulas, both equations already have x and y on them, because technically f of x is the same as y, x, y, x, y. Because both of them already have x, y, we had to come up with two different variables to notate or to represent our vertex. Now, those two variables are h and k. But it is no different than giving an x, y, an ordered pair. Now, tomorrow we're going to be going over what happens because another variable that is in vertex form is the variable a. Today we're only working with the vertex, but you are going to be given the variable a to include into some of these problems. Now you don't have to know what it does, but a is considered a vertical or horizontal stretch, and in very short, I guess, short phrase or whatever, all it does is it makes your parabola. Hello, are you working? Hold on. It makes your parabola skinnier, or it'll make your parabola wider, and it also flips. That's what A does. We're not actually going to work with it with all of the. It's going to be today's lesson is more about calculation, so it's actually something a lot of people do end up understanding or being able to do. Okay. The hardest part of using vertex form is having to plug in the numbers correctly, because if you notice, or if you take a good look at the formula, you'll notice that there's a minus sign. This minus sign belongs to the formula already, and it does not replace any negative number that you are plugging in. The hardest part is plugging the numbers in, but this minus sign here belongs to the formula already. It does not replace the negative on a number. So if you are plugging in a positive number, it will remain x minus that number. If you plug in a negative number, it will switch to x plus that number. So you want to think of this variable or that minus h as being the opposite. Okay. As being the opposite. So let's take, for example, the vertex 3, 2. Let's say 3, 2 is my vertex. 3 is the number that's representing an h. So 3 is the number that we would plug into in the inside of our parentheses. So if I were plugging in that 3, the x minus is already part of the formula. Plugging in a 3, bringing in a 3 doesn't change anything. It remains x minus 3 squared. But let's say, for example, we were to plug in negative 3 too. Negative 3 is my h, 2 is my k value. I'm plugging in this negative 3 into my parentheses, part of the formula. And that part of the formula is x minus something squared. This part belongs to the formula. So if I get that negative 3 and I bring it into the formula, what happens? It gives us two negatives. This one belonging to the formula, this one coming with the negative 3, so 2 negatives make a positive. So if you're plugging in a negative number, it'll make it plus h. If you're plugging in a positive number, it will remain minus h. That's why I say opposite. Okay. Now, the whole point, or most questions that have to do with vertex form on the STAR test are going to ask you to go from vertex form to standard form. And like we said with the formula chart, the biggest difference standard form is that vertex form has parentheses. So it's how to plug in a vertex and also how to get rid of the parentheses. So we end up with the equation in standard form. Both equations will give you the same exact parabola, so they are the same, they are equivalent. Okay? And that is, those are the types of questions that you're going to see on the STAR test. And I worded it exactly that way for you in each example, that way you get used to it. So number one, example one, it says write a function, write a quadratic function in vertex form. The first thing you notice is that it says the word quadratic. So I go to my quadratic equation. It says write it in vertex form. So we're looking at this formula, okay? That can be represented by a graph that has a vertex. They're giving us the vertex 2, 0. 2, 0. And I'm just going to go ahead and label it HK. Now, the reason I created this chart above the problem is just so you can see side by side. They're giving us the vertex, and we plug it into vertex form, and we're going to learn how to switch it or solve it to change it to standard form. And I wanted you guys to see those side by side. So I'm going to go ahead and take 2, 0 and write it into my vertex column. 2, 0 represents HK, meaning the only two numbers that I'm going to be plugging in is a number in the parentheses and a number outside of the parentheses. There are some problems that are going to give us A, but this one doesn't. So we're just not, we're going to leave this out of the formula. If they give you A, you put it into the formula. If they don't, just leave it out. So let's write this formula. F of X equals X minus something squared. And now we can plug in our numbers. H goes in here, so what number will I plug in here? 2. K goes on the outside, so what do I plug into the outside? And it's a 0. We can just treat it as positive. It doesn't matter. So X minus 2 squared plus 0. Is it necessary to include that plus 0 into your final answer? No, so we're just going to write it as F of X equals X minus 2 squared. And that's it. That is what your answer will look like if this were the question on the STAR test. Now, some of those questions also ask you to take it a step further. It says write the function equivalent to this vertex form, meaning get rid of the parentheses. We are going to write the steps. There are only 4 problems here, but we're going to write the steps for the first 3 because the last 2 are the same. So let's rewrite that. F of X is equal to X minus 2 squared, and we're not going to include the plus 0. This is one of those lessons where I'm able to give you the exact steps to follow. So make sure you are writing each and every step, because if you have a question, I'm going to ask to see your notes. All right, so we have parentheses. What is the first thing that you think we're going to get rid of? Not the exponent. The exponent. We have an exponent on the outside of it. How can we've actually seen this before in a different lesson. What does this exponent tell us to do? Multiply what? How? Okay, so I'm going to go more with answer. A lot of people think that we're supposed to distribute this and we get x squared, and negative times negative is positive 4. That is not what we're supposed to be doing. Now, I wanted to cover that as well. So let's say, for example, we need to look at the differences, because we did study exponents in the beginning of this semester, where we had this. And in this problem, yes, you do take the exponent of 2 and distribute it to each term or each base. That gives us 2 squared, x squared. But what is the difference between having this and having having it written this way. There's a what? There is a minus sign separating the 2 from the x. So because of that minus sign, you cannot distribute. It's a whole different style of problem. You can't distribute because they are separated by a minus. Sometimes they can be separated by a plus sign. So you can't distribute. This is why you can't distribute. If they are separated, you can't distribute. If they're put together, that means they are multiplied. So yes, you would multiply the 2 times 1, 2 times 2, 2 squared, x squared. These are two separate things. But once again, we have seen something similar to this. Rolando, whenever you say multiply times itself, what are you asking us to do? If you were to multiply that times itself. When else have you seen something similar to this? Anybody? We have seen this before in a separate lesson. You could be looking for it as well. You get your notes out of the paragraph. Let me. It's not exponent rules. How many terms do you have on the inside of that parentheses? Okay. Nope. If it's 2 terms, it's considered a what? Not a poly. It's called a binomial. It's called a binomial. When did we multiply binomials? Anybody remember this? This is what we're looking at. A binomial squared is the same as multiplying it times itself, multiplying the whole binomial times itself, repeating it times itself. That is what we are going to do here. So let's write that step. The first thing you want to do is expand the square. Expand the square. That's why I highlighted the square. That's what I want you to do with your highlighters today. I want you to highlight the step that we're taking. So if I expand the square, I'm going to write it times itself. Now the parentheses still exist, so I haven't gotten rid of the parentheses. Now what am I supposed to do? Correct. You could use box or FOIL method. Box or FOIL method. If you still prefer FOIL, that's fine. You can continue to use FOIL method. I'm going to write box. I'm going to use box method because I feel like it takes less writing. So x minus 2 across the top, x minus 2 along the side. How do you fill in the squares? By multiplying. I'm going to put a dot here. Multiply first, then combine. X times x gives us x times -2. X times -2. And -2 times -2. +4. +4. And we have 2 terms that always combine each and every time. Which ones are they? The 2 x's. The diagonal, always. Diagonal. I'm going to highlight those. Those are the ones you want to combine. And let's go ahead and start to bring everything down. So we're left with x squared. -2x plus -2x gives us -4x. And then we get this plus 4 at the end. We have now gone from vertex form to standard form. If you compare it to standard form, ax squared, they didn't give us anything for a. -4, not -4x, minus b plus bx plus c. Plus bx plus c. Everybody see that? So we've gone from vertex form to standard form. With parentheses, without parentheses. They are the same equation, they are equivalent, but one has parentheses, the other doesn't. So just so you see, just so you're able to see, let's look at this graph right here. This graph, or this line right here, represents my, this graph right here represents my parent function, y is equal to x squared, as seen on the vocabulary quiz. Y is equal to x squared. Now, we said that our vertex was changed to what? To 0. Our vertex is changed to 0, so positive 2, positive 2, 0. There's my new parabola. This is in vertex form. Now, if I type my other equation, the one we just got, after solving it, which is x squared minus 4x plus 4, it should end up right on top of the other one. So let's take a look. Move away. There we go. I'm going to make this a dotted line. That way you guys can see that the other one will be on top. So, x squared, then one more, plus 4x, minus 4x, minus 4x, plus 4. And you have that line right on top of the other one. See? Same parabola. They're the same parabola, just written two different ways. Vertex form, standard form. They are equivalent. Okay? All right, so, and that is what, this is the answer choice that you would look for on our test. X squared minus 4x plus 4. And just because I want you guys to be able to compare them side by side, I'm also going to write that in the chart. X squared minus 4x plus 4. Turn the page when you're ready. All right. Next, write the quadratic function in vertex form. You're going to get the same question every time. That can be represented by a graph that has a vertex and -3, -1. I grab my vertex from the word problem, -3, -1. I'm going to go ahead and label it HK. So we're going to be plugging numbers where and where in our formula. Inside the parentheses and on the end. Once again, they didn't give us A, so I'm just going to ignore it for now. Let's plug in those numbers. What part of the formula stays the same? In the beginning. F of x stays the same. What else stays the same? Parentheses. X minus. Parentheses, x minus will stay the same. And now we close the parentheses and square. Now we have to plug in the numbers. What number am I going to plug in on the inside? And on the outside? -1. Now, because this 3 brought in its own negative to a formula that already has one, now we have 2 negatives, and that's going to connect to create a positive. So in vertex form, it's written as f of x is equal to x plus 3 squared minus 1. And just in case the STAR test asks us to take it a step further and write it in standard form, we have to learn how to solve those. What's the difference between number 1 and this example? This one actually has a number for k. There's a number there on the outside. But your first couple of steps will always be the same. So what is the first step? Don't distribute. Expand the square. Expand the square. First thing you're going to do is get rid of that exponent. So x plus 3 times x plus 3. Not forgetting that you have that number there on the outside. I might make sure you write it down. And yes, after that, you will solve using box and FOIL. you'll solve the parentheses part. So I'm going to highlight these two. This is all we're working with right now. The x plus 3 times the x plus 3. So we're going to use boxing foil to do so. I got to make my box a little smaller. X plus 3, x plus 3. To fill in the boxes, what do I do? So x times x, x times 3, x times 3, and 3 times 3. And we always combine what? Diagonal. We combine the diagonal. So that'll give us x squared. 3x plus 3x gives us plus 9. Am I done here? We have that minus 1 here at the end. But remember, your quadratics can be as high as a trinomial. So there's something wrong with that trinomial. What do you think will be the final step? Add what? And instead of adding, what term do we usually use? Thank you. Combine like terms. You will have some like terms to combine. And in this case, it's the 9 and the 1. X squared plus 6x stays the same, and 9 minus 1 gives us 8. Question so far? Because now we're gonna make it, we're gonna add another part. So this is the equation that is equivalent. Once again, I've already showed you with the other parabola. It's the same exact parabola written a different way. And make sure you also fill it in your chart. Everybody has this bottom part. Can I move it up a little bit? Here's our vertex that they gave us. We wrote it in vertex form. We changed it to standard form, side by side. Number 3 is there on the right side of it. So let me know when you're ready. You have the same equation written here. Okay. So number 3, write the quadratic function in vertex form. That can be represented by a factor as a vertex at what? -2, 4. Go ahead and label it as HK. -2, 4. But this one also gives us another piece of information. What information did they give us? They gave you a value for A. So we're not only going to be plugging in for H and K, now we have a number that we can plug in here in the front as well. So the part that doesn't change ever is f of x equals. We do have a number that we have to plug in here, right after the equal sign. What number is that? -3. Now we can use our parentheses. X minus doesn't change with our square. What number do we plug in on the inside? And on the outside? Plus 4. Do we have anything that needs to be changed? The sign in the parentheses becomes a plus. So, written in vertex form, taking this vertex, the equation is f of x equals -3 times x plus 2 squared plus 4. So, what's the difference between number 2 and 3? Now we have a number in front of the parentheses, so just keep that in mind. There's a number here in front of the parentheses. Let's learn how to solve it. This is the last time that we're actually going to write all the steps down. So, hooray for that. 3x plus 2 squared plus 4. First couple of steps are always going to be the same. What's the first 2 steps? Let's first expand the square. Remember to bring everything down, even if it's not used. So -3. I'm going to expand x plus 2 squared into x plus 2 times x plus 2. I still have that plus 4 on the end. We still have parentheses, so what's the next step? Box or FOIL? I did have one person earlier that preferred to use FOIL. 100% okay. Both of them are going to give you the same answer. All right, I'm going to highlight these two binomials. That way I know this is the step. The next step I'm thinking, I'm multiplying those two. X plus 2. X plus 2. Anybody need me to wait? Was that yes? Okay. So x times x is x times 2. And x times 2. Last is 2 times 2. 4. We always combine or add and subtract the diagonal 2. The 2 that are in the diagonal. But because there is a term in front, because we have a term in front of that binomial, we cannot remove the parentheses just yet. So I'm going to keep that x squared in the parentheses. X squared. 2x plus 2x is 4x plus 4. This is plus 4 is not the same plus 4 as this. Don't forget to bring this one down. Okay. Now, we've worked with something similar to the front of this problem. What will the next step be? 5. Correct. We take the number in front of the parentheses and we multiply it. What's the proper term? Distribute. We distribute that -3. So the step that you're right is to distribute 8. Now I'm just going to put A in parentheses. Distribute the value of A. In this case, A is our -3. And that gives us what? -3 times x squared is? -3 times 4? -12x and -3 times 4? Okay. Don't forget to bring down that last one. Need me to wait? Last step is to combine like terms. Combine like terms. And in this case, our like terms are that -12 plus 4. Make sure you're being careful. A lot of people tend to mess up here because one of those numbers is negative. If you're not good at adding and subtracting those negatives, make sure you type it into the calculator. What is -12 plus 4? -8. So this is what our answer choice would look like. F of x is equal to 3x squared minus 12x minus 8. Also fill it into your chart so you can see it side by side. Don't worry, we're not going to write steps in this last one. The same as 3. This is as far as you get, correct. Ready? What's that? What class do you have? All right. Number 4, write the quadratic function in vertex form as the vertex -1. So we have our vertex, and they're asking us to use the value of A, that is what? 2. So go ahead and label your HK. That way you plug things into the correct spot. Now, because we're given 3 different numbers, that means we're going to plug in 3 different times. Oh, Lord. That's just it. All right, so somebody tell me, what is the very first part of my equation going to look like? F of x. Angel, what's going to go right after the equal sign? Okay. Rolanda, what's going to go on the inside? Yep, x minus -3. Which Anthony tells me I need to do what? Okay, and it says I need to put +1 at the end. Josh, can you tell me what I need to do to the inside of the parentheses? Correct. Both of those negatives change to a positive. When you have two negatives, when the number brings in its own negative, you gotta change that to a positive. It's only on the inside of the parentheses, not on the outside. So 2 times x plus 3 squared plus 1. Some questions on the STAR test, all they ask you to do is plug it in. That's it. But some ask you to also change it back to standard form. What's that? The STAR test is half linear, half quadratic. So yes. Ready? All right. So let's write that equation. F of x. We're going to review everything that we did the whole year in the month of April. So imagine having to do everything you did in a year in 1 month. It's going to go fast. Just FYI. All right. The first thing is, what do we do? Expand the square. Yeah, it's going to go fast. No, because not even one person passed the benchmark. Everybody will be in tutorials. So just FYI. Not one person saved their social. Not one. Not a single person. No. I was the teacher that had it. Thank you. So, what's the next step? Box method with our x plus 3's. I'm not 100% upset about it. There are some questions that I'm upset about, but not 100% because everybody else was halfway through quadratics. And we're starting. We're still not halfway through. All right, x times x is 3 times x. 3 times x and 3 times x. And you add the 3x. Now, once again, because there is a value of a, that means I have to keep this in parentheses until further notice. X squared, 3x plus 3x gives us 6x plus 9. First you multiply, then you add. Don't forget to bring down that plus 1. All right, Jason, tell me what the next step is. We wrote it down. We already did box, so what's after that? Look at your number 3. What's the next step? What do we do with this? What is the step under box method? Did you write it down? No? All right, guys, what do we do? Distribute. You want to distribute the value of A. You want to distribute the number in front of the parentheses. We're still trying to get rid of the parentheses. So 2 times x squared is, and 2 times 6x, 2 times 9. Are we done? No, don't forget that 1. Last step is going to be 2. Add like terms, which will be my 18 and 1. 2x squared plus 12x plus 19. So this is the equation that is equivalent to my vertex form. Equivalent meaning the same. Meaning if they were to be graphed, they would give us the same exact graph. 12x plus 19. Just written 2 different ways. Don't forget to fill in the last column on your chart. You will glue this one into 112.